Hello everyone and welcome back to Ecological Educational channel. So in this video we are going to discuss about the UGC NET December 2022 examination paper that is for environmental science subject. The questions which came in the examination, we will be discussing them and it will be very important for the upcoming examinations. So get ready with your notes so that you can note down the important points which we will be going to discuss in this video. So let's start today's video. So first question today which we will be dealing is, which of the following intergovernmental conferences recommended that environmental education to cater to all ages and socio-professional groups in the population? So as per which conference environmental education was recommended for all age people as a socio-professional groups in the population, the environmental education? So the options are Stockholm Conference, Tbilisi Conference, Rio de Janeiro or Berlin Conference. So I'll wait for certain seconds, then I'll reveal the correct answer. So here the correct option will be option number 2, Tbilisi Conference. It recommended that environmental education to be included for all ages and all the socio-professional groups in the population in order to spread the awareness related to the environment. So it was conducted in the year 1977. You should note down the year as well as the conference name, that is Tbilisi Conference. Coming to the next question is average salinity of seawater is how much percentage? So this is also a very frequently asked question, but you are confused most often. So here the correct option will be option number 2, 3.5% is the average salinity of seawater. That means if total of 100 ml if you are getting the seawater, then there 3.5 ml will be the saline content of that seawater. So here also sometimes it is asked in ppm. So if it is asked in ppm, you should write down that it is 35,000 parts per million if it is asked in ppm, the average salinity of seawater. And if it is asked in ppb, that is parts per billion, then again 1000 we have to multiply, that means 35 into 10 to the power 6 ppb is the average salinity of the seawater. So 35 into 10 to the power 6 if it is in ppb, and 35,000 in ppm, and if it is in percentage it will be 3.5%. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, most plants can absorb nitrogen only in the form of which of the following ion? So this is coming from the nitrogen cycle, which is one of the very frequently asked and important concept. If you haven't watched our nitrogen cycle video, it is explained very briefly and to the point. You can watch the video given in the I button because it is very frequently and important concept. So here which option will be correct? The option correct will be option number 3, nitrate ion. Nitrate means NO3 minus. So this is the most common form of nitrogen which is absorbed by the plants for the process of nitrogen cycle. They are utilizing in the form of nitrate, that is NO3 minus. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is, persistence of DDT in environment is not due to what? So we all know DDT is a very harmful pesticide which is banned also, but its persistence is because of what? Why it is staying longer in our environment? So whether it is because of its low vapor pressure, whether it is because of its low reactivity. So it is asking not. So you should mark here whether it is written not or whether it is asking due to what. So here it is asking not. So what will be the not cause for the persistency of the DDT pesticides? It will be its high rate of evaporation. So if it is high rate of evaporation, then it can easily go out of the environment. So it is not having the high rate of evaporation, as a result it is persistence in our environment. But these three things you should note down. DDT is having low vapor pressure, it is low reactivity with respect to light, chemicals and microbes. So as a result we cannot break DDT easily, and its low solubility in water also causes the persistency in the environment. So let's move on to the next question. Next question is from the food chain and it is also very simple question. So here the question is, grazing food chain consists of which kind of organism? So here grazing food chain, it starts from what? It starts from the sun. Yes, option 1 will be also correct, and you can also get confused by the second option. But here sun, what it will be giving? It will be giving the photons, the light energy, to the green plants. So it is not to the second order carnivore. First it will give the energy to the green plants, the autotrophs. The autotrophs will prepare the food and it will be consumed by the herbivores, then first order carnivore, then second order carnivore. So here option 1 will be correct. Grazing food chain starts from sun and it will move on gradually from green plants, herbivores, first order carnivores and second order carnivores. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is about species area relationship. So what does this species area relationship predicts? So this species area relationship predicts the minimum area required to be sampled to enumerate maximum number of species present in an association divided by ecosystem under the observation. So here this is a very important terminology, that is species area relationship. It predicts the minimum area required to be sampled to enumerate maximum number of species present in an association divided by ecosystem under observation. So here the thing is, the species area curve also you should be knowing. We will discuss in the next video. Just you should know that option 3 will be correct for the species area relationship prediction. Coming to the next question. Next question is estimates of the biologically productive land and sea area needed to provide renewable resources that a population consumes and to absorb the waste it generates is called as what? So this is the terminology definition given. So definition is estimates of the biologically productive land and sea area needed to provide renewable resources that a population consumes and to absorb the waste the population generates. It generates means the population generates. So what it is called as? It is called as ecological footprint. So it is telling about the ecosystem running in between the biological organism, land, sea, the waste generation, how it absorbs. So all this thing is called the ecological footprint, the estimates of the biologically productive land and sea area, both the things, not only land but the sea area needed to provide renewable resources to the population. So you should not get confused with the carbon footprint. What is carbon footprint? You should note down. It is the total amount of greenhouse gases. So not only carbon dioxide, it includes both carbon dioxide and methane. So both these things coming under the greenhouse gases considered for the total amount of greenhouse gases that are generated by our action, by humans action. How much of greenhouse gases, that means CO2 and methane, is released by our action, that is called as the carbon footprint. So that is the difference between ecological footprint and carbon footprint. Let's move to the next set of questions. So these questions came in the examination and possibilities are there, it can be also repeated in the next exams. So the next question is, with the change in environmental condition, species that are not adapted to such change condition disappear. So this phenomena is called as what? So this is from the evolution portion. So this thing is telling that when the environment condition changes, for example climate change is taking place and all, so the species those are not adapted to such condition, they disappear. Disappear means they go extinct. So this phenomenon is called as what kind of extinction? So this is called as natural extinction, because the selected species, those who are able to cope up or adapt with such changing condition, they will only remain on our planet. Other than that, they will disappear. Those are not adapted because of the natural extinction process. So next, move on to the next question. So if you are having doubts, you can ask in the comment section. Next question is, elements which are not easily accommodated in the structures of the principal igneous minerals are called as what? So it is from the environmental geology and it is asking not easily accommodated. So here these elements are called as incompatible elements. So they are not able to be accommodated in the structure of the principal igneous minerals. So that's why they are incompatible, not easily accommodated. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is on your screen. During the estimation of geothermal resources, which of the following is not considered? So when we are estimating the geothermal resources on our survey, so which thing we should not consider? First let us know which are the things we should consider. So depth, thickness and extent of geothermal aquifer we should know while going for the estimation of geothermal resources. Properties of the rock formation we should know. Fossil content of rock is not needed when we are going for the geothermal resource estimation, but salinity and geochemistry of the fluid present in the aquifer is also very important to know. So these three are required. This fossil content is not required, so it is not considered. Option number 4 will be correct option. Next, coming to the next question, shale gas. So shale gas is a natural gas which is mainly dominated by which of the following? So whether it is methane, ethane, butane or propane, which hydrocarbon is mainly dominating in the shale gas? So here option 1 will be correct, that is methane. So around 70 to 90% of the constitution for the shale gas is by the methane, and ethane, propane, butane, all these are present but in trace amount, but maximum amount which is mainly dominated is methane in the shale gas. Coming to the next question. So next question is, gas hydrates are not produced through which of the following process? So here most of the time it is asking not. You should read the questions very carefully. So gas hydrates are formed through which process we should know? So first of all you should know what are gas hydrates. So gas hydrates are also called as clathrate. You should note down CLATHRAT. So clathrate or clathrate hydrates. So they are formed when mostly methane and water combine in the permafrost areas. So methane, that is CH4, and water, when they combine in the permafrost region, they are found in the sub-oceanic sediments, here the oceanic sediments. So then gas hydrates are formed. So here what are the procedure through which the gas hydrates are formed? We should know they are due to thermal stimulation, depressurization, chemical inhibition. So bacterial recovery does not produce the gas hydrates in the sub-oceanic sediments or the clathrates, the clathrate hydrates. So option 4 will be the correct option, that is bacterial recovery is not responsible for producing gas hydrates. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, which component of coal cannot be determined under proximate analysis? So proximate analysis is the technique for going to check the coal properties and which properties cannot be determined, which thing cannot be determined for coal through proximate analysis. The correct option will be option 4. Sulfur content we cannot determine with the help of proximate analysis, but moisture content, ash content, volatile matter, all these things present in the coal we can determine with the help of proximate analysis technique. Coming to the next question, bioenergy is a form of what? This is a very chocolate question. Bioenergy is a form of renewable energy. So don't get confused between the unconventional, conventional. So it is a kind of renewable energy. Let's move on to the next question set. Next question is from the Gaussian plume model, very important and frequently asked thing. You should note this thing. Behavior of the plume when stack is under temperature inversion layer is termed as what? So the plume, that is the gases released when it is under the inversion layer, what that term is known as? So if it is under the inversion layer, it is called as fumigation type of plume, which is very important, and we will make a separate video on the Gaussian plume model. The basics we should know just to get marks in the examination. Let's move on to the next question set. Next question is on your screen. The question is, the time between successive peaks or between successive troughs of the sinusoidal sound wave is called as what? So sound wave, let us assume like this is the sound wave and these are the crest. These are the crest region and these are the trough region. So in between crest and in between trough, this distance is called as the wavelength. Yes, but it is asking the time between the successive peaks. So it is not asking what is the distance called as. The time between successive peaks, that means the crest and the trough region of the sound wave is called as the period. So option 3 will be correct. It is asking the time. Otherwise, if it is only asking the distance between the successive peaks, then it will be wavelength. Let's move on to the next question. We are on a rapid revision only, no need to go deep. If you are having doubt, I am repeatedly saying, you can ask in the comment section or in our Telegram group. So naturally occurring radioactive gas, which is also produced by the radioactive decay of uranium and has the potential to concentrate in buildings and home, is what? So which element is naturally occurring radioactive gas which is also produced by the radioactive decay of uranium and it is also, I will give you a hint, that it is an indoor air pollutant. Yes, this question was asked in the form of that what is a indoor air pollutant. Option 3, that is radon. So it is telling about radon, which is a naturally occurring radioactive gas also produced by the decay of uranium, and it is concentrated in the buildings and in our homes. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is, a natural or human made depression in which solid waste is dumped, compressed and daily covered with a layer of dirt is referred to as what? So this is also very chocolate question. I hope you are able to answer this. This will be option 3. It is called as sanitary landfill. So there will be a pit made by humans, and in which we are disposing the solid waste, we are compressing it and daily covered with the layer of dirt. So it is called as sanitary landfill. Don't get confused with secure landfill and sanitary landfill. Secure landfills are mostly, they are secure, that means they are sealed off, they are not daily wise they are covered or daily wise they are dumped. Sanitary landfill are daily wise they are dumped and covered with the layer of dirt. Next question, plastic waste management rules were first notified by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in India in which of the following year? So from question also you can make notes that plastic waste management rule was notified by whom? By MOEFCC. You should note down, plastic waste management rule notified by MOEFCC in the year 2016. 2016 is the correct option. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is, which one of the following is not the preferred sustainable strategy for reducing solid waste? So here first we will know which are the sustainable strategy preferred for reducing our solid waste. They are output approach, throughput approach, input approach. So these things you can know in upcoming videos, but you should know output, throughput and input. So here you should note that time put approach is nothing related to the reducing the solid waste in a sustainable manner. So output, throughput and input. So these three are the techniques to reduce the solid waste in the sustainable strategy, but here it has asked which is not, so option 3 will be correct. Next question is also chocolate question, very frequently asked. Process of thermal degradation of solid waste in the absence of oxygen is referred to as what? So when we are simply burning any waste, it is called as incineration, but here it is asking absence of oxygen, anaerobic condition, it is called as pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is the technique for degrading the solid waste through heavy temperature in the absence of oxygen. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, the abandoned, idle or underused industrial and commercial facilities where expansion or redevelopment is complicated by real or perceived contamination are defined as what kind of field? So here when the site is abandoned because of the commercial facilities or industrial facilities, and there we cannot do any development because it has the chances of contamination, so that place or that field will be called as brown field. Yes, brown field, you should note down, abandoned or idle area under the industrial or commercial facilities where we cannot expand or do the development because of the danger of contamination. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, the notification of environmental impact assessment under the provision of Environmental Protection Act of 1986 was carried out for which of the following projects? So whether it is river valley project, development projects, tourism projects or municipal waste management. So here the correct option will be option number 2. It was carried out for the developmental projects. The notification of EIA under the provision of EPA, that is Environmental Protection Act of 1986, carried out for the developmental projects. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, which one of the following fundamental duties makes sure that every citizen of India protects and improves the natural environment including forest, lakes, rivers and wildlife, and has compassion for the living creatures? So here we all were knowing that the answer will be 51A. Article 51A gives the fundamental duty for every citizen of India to protect the natural resources and to have the compassion for the living creature. But here it has asked 51A and the sub clause, whether it is 51A C, E, G, I. So here it will be 51A G. So properly it will be Article 51A G, which has given the citizen of our country the fundamental duty to protect the natural environment including forest, lake, rivers and wildlife. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is, which one of the following is not a product based tool of environmental preventive management? So environmental preventive management has certain product based tool, and here first we will know what are the product based tool. They are eco-labeling, industrial ecology and life cycle assessment, that is LCA. So here it was asking which is not a product based tool for environmental preventive management. It will be cleaner production. So option 1 will be correct because it is not under the product based tool for the environmental preventive management. I hope you are noting down all these things, very important. Let's move to the next question. Next question is, the functional relationship of soil is expressed in the term of this equation. You should note down how the functional relationship of soil is expressed. S, it is denoted as S is equal to Cl plus O plus R plus dot dot. So where Cl is what? Cl is climate, you should note down. O is organism, R is relief. So this type of relationship or equation is considered as what kind of equation to find out the functional relationship of the soils? So here this equation is telling about the multiple linear regression. So even if you don't know this thing, by common sense also you can apply, because here multiple elements are given, multiple variable, that is climate, organism, relief. So there are multiple things given, so that will be multiple linear regression. Like that you can remember this thing. Let's move to the next question. Next question, very colorful image also it is given here. So here the question is, a chart which displays distribution of weather condition by well defined weather symbols on maps covering wide regions of the earth's surface at a given time is termed as what? Whether it is contour chart, radar chart, bubble chart, synoptic chart. So here this is the example of that answer, that is synoptic chart. Yes, covering wide region. Synoptic scale also you might be knowing in the weather thing, meteorological phenomena. Synoptic scale or synoptic chart we are discussing here, it is having the wide range of data about the weather symbol on map at a given time. So you can see here many symbols are given, there are markings given, the elevation given, all these things are given in the synoptic chart for the well defined weather symbol, weather condition they are predicting at a given time. So this is the correct option, and I hope you have noted down all these important points which we are discussing while going through the answer. See you guys in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel to get all further updates. Keep smiling and believe in yourself.